Now, if you watch this video, my first video of this year, you'd remember when I said that I was changing my attitude towards handbags. And that mindset really helped me to decide this year to let go of a couple of key, or what I thought were key pieces in my collection. I decided I was going to curate my collection this year instead of just adding everything I loved. I decided that I was okay with loving bags, but leaving them in the stores. I didn't need to bring everything home, because at this point now I know what works for me, what doesn't work, what I like, what I need, what is lacking in my collection, what colors I need, what colors I like, what colors I like but I don't need. And so 2023 was the year of purging and curating my collection better. So this year alone, I let go of a total number of 15 bags. I am so proud of myself. 15 bags left my collection in 2023. And so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what those 15 bags were. Hi guys, it's Temi with YellowSparksJoy. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I like to talk about fashion and lifestyle, particularly handbags. So if you like those kinds of topics, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the tiny notification bell beside the subscribe button so you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. One of which is going to be the bags I added to my collection in 2023. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. Okay, bag number one, and I'll do this in order of how they left my collection. I list my bags for sale primarily on Poshmark Canada because I live in Canada. My Poshmark information is in the description box below. I always have that information in my YouTube videos, so it's always there if you want to go and check my Poshmark out. So in January, 2 bags left my collection, and this is not in order of when I list the bags. I was listing different bags as time went on during the year. Sometimes I had 4 bags on my Poshmark closet. One will sell. I'll take a look at my closet again, decide, okay, I think I should add this one, So it wasn't like all 15 bags were listed on my Poshmark at the same time. No, it was a matter of deciding, struggling with whether I wanted to let them go because some of them were really hard. But eventually, all 15 left. First that left this year was my Madison. So in January, my Coach Madison bag sold via Poshmark. This one wasn't so hard because I wasn't using the bag at all. I think I maybe used it once. It was a beautiful heather gray color. I got it from thebay.com. I think it was a department store exclusive color because that color wasn't available at the regular Coach boutiques. And so I loved it. I loved the color more than I loved the bag style. I realized that the Madison wasn't for me. It is a beautiful style. I still admire it. I wish it would work for me, but it just doesn't because of that chain strap. I don't find it nice to wear crossbody. It also doesn't have a top handle, so I can't carry a top handle instead. And so I decided I should let it go. I'm still going to buy a gray bag. When I find one that suits my style more, I'm definitely going to jump at it. So the Madison left in January this year. Following the Madison, also in January, was my Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the Demi print. This one was hard because it was my first Louis Vuitton bag in my collection. I loved the Alma. I love that shape of bag, but for some reason, I was never wearing it. I'm not sure if it was between the fact that I was worried because it was such an expensive bag or I didn't like the pattern. When I went in to buy that bag, I really wanted the monogram pattern with the vachetta leather, but they didn't have it in store. They had the Demi in store. And I didn't want to come back some other time. I didn't want to place an order. I just wanted that bag now. I think that was my number one mistake, was that I didn't like the print. But I had the Alma PM in the monogram print and I let that go in 2022. So was it really because of the print? Was it because of the amount of money I spent on the bag, or was the style not just working for me? Personally, I think it's the style. I think that shape, that dome shape style, is another shape of bag that I appreciate the art. I appreciate the shape of it, but when I'm carrying it, I don't like it so much, if that makes sense. So I let that bag go in January as well. It was bittersweet, but I know it was the best thing to do. So none of my bags listed sold in February. The next time a bag sold from my closet was in March. In March, I sold my small town bucket bag in the color Glacier White with the signature print. This one was one that I was actually very disappointed to let go of because the way like if you go and watch my previous video on the unboxing of this bag, and I will leave links to all my previous videos on all of these bags I'm talking about in today's video in the description box below. So when I bought that small town bucket, I was so excited for it. I loved that glacier white signature C print, and I was like, yes, it came from the US. Like, it took me a lot of hoops, jumping through a lot of hoops to get this bag, and when I eventually got it, I think I was underwhelmed, and that was very sad. And so I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. It wasn't the type of bag that I was happy to see sitting on my shelf, and so I knew I was going to let it go. Eventually, I think I let it go more because the Molly totes, the Molly 25, has now replaced my love for the small town bucket. So before the Molly 25 came on the scene, I really loved the small town bucket bag, but now I prefer the Molly as a work bag over the small town bucket. So I decided to let go of that glacier white small town bucket bag. I now have 3 Molly totes in my collection, and my last small town bucket in the green, the washed green, is actually currently still on my Poshmark closet. It hasn't sold yet, but I decided to let that go as well. So the white one was sold in March of 2023. No regrets. The only regret is the fact that I struggled to get that bag, and when it came, it was very underwhelming. Next, in April, I sold my Beat saddle bag in the color Red Sand. This one was a no-brainer. I realized that saddle bags are not for me. I know that now, so I will probably not be buying a saddle bag anytime soon in my collection. It will not be added in my collection. The style just doesn't work for me. Although I loved that rich red sand color, I just knew that I had to let go of this Beat saddle bag. So thankfully it sold, and it sold well. I think I sold this one off Poshmark, if I recall correctly. But yeah, happy to have let that one go. May was a good month for me this year. I sold 3 of my bags, first of which was the Birch Ella mini puffer bag. This one was another purchase that was a mistake. I bought the small one, the mini puffer, instead of the regular size. I feel like if I had bought the regular size, I would have used it more. The mini puffer didn't hold as much as I wanted it to hold. I wasn't using it as a work bag. This was supposed to be my kids run bag. So like whenever I was taking my son to any of his activities, this is a bag I would bring along. And I needed a bag like that, a tote like that, to carry a number of items with me, his items as well as my items, and the mini puffer just was not big enough. So it was a mistake that I feel like the minute I paid for that bag in the store, I knew it was a mistake, but I still brought it home with me. I still tried to make it work. It didn't, sadly, and so I decided to let it go. The next bag that sold in May was my Little Better Sam in nylon. Now this one hurt a bit because, first of all, I got that bag for a great price from Kate Spade. It was on sale. It's a nylon bag. It was black. It's like, it was just the perfect grab and go. It was very lightweight. You could pack it full with a lot of things. I actually really like this bag. But I noticed that eventually there were other bags I was reaching for to serve the same purpose, and I just was reaching for my nylon Sam bag less and less. And so I decided to let it go, because if I wasn't using it and it wasn't an art piece for me, then there was really no point retaining it in my collection. Finally, in May, I let go of my Coach quilted swinger in the size 20. This one was in the color marigold, am I right? Some sort of mustardy yellow that I really didn't like. I thought it was going to be a yellow that I would like. I bought it off the Coach Outlet Reserve. When it arrived, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it. It was a shoulder bag. I wasn't going to that many parties. I didn't really have many occasions to wear it to, and I didn't like the color. I don't think I ever used that bag. So this was a no-brainer for me. It was easy to put it on the chopping block, and I was definitely happy when it finally sold. Okay, so now we're in June, halfway through the year, and that is when I sold my quilted camera bag. This one was sad for me because I was very happy when I received that bag. Like, this was a conscious purchase. I bought it, I believe, during the semi-annual sale the previous year, and I was very excited for a white bag. I really wanted a white crossbody bag in my collection, and to be honest, I still have that need for a white crossbody bag in my collection. I think it was just because it was the Napa leather, and so I began to see some wear and tear and dirt on the bag. Like, the color of the chalk color of the bag was changing, which I don't have a problem with wear and tear on leather. Like, leather is supposed to wear and tear. I think the more wear leather has, on it, the more beautiful, the more aged, the more stories you have to tell with your bag. Maybe not so much tear, but wear is inevitable, which is great. But for this one, for that quoted Napa leather, there was just something about the way the color was changing that I didn't like. And yeah, so I decided to get rid of the bag. Again, I still have a need for a white crossbody bag in my collection, and I have a particular bag in mind, not Coach, but another brand, and I'm hoping that someday in the future I'll be able to add that bag into my collection. Second bag that sold in June was my Coach mini court bag from the outlet. Again, this was another attempt to add a yellow bag into my collection because of course I love yellows, but this one was a backpack, and no, it wasn't. I was too happy to let go because I was like, yeah, I'm done with trying to make this bag work. It's not working. I don't use it. How many times do I have a need for backpacks? I probably only have one backpack in my collection at this point. Yeah, just one. Just one. Because I don't use backpacks. I'm not a backpack girl. So yeah, that one left. It was in my Poshmark closet for a while. It wasn't selling, but finally in June, it sold. So very happy about that. Now in July of this year, I sold my Birch Micro Ella straw bag. This bag is one that I really loved, but then I realized that if I wanted a straw bag, I should get it in a large size. There was no point buying a straw bag in a small size because it just didn't make any sense. I had small size crossbody bags that I could use for occasions in the summer where I wanted to be hands-free. And if I wanted a big tote, then a bigger straw bag would be better. So I used the Tory Birch Mini Ella. I did use it, but in using it, I then realized that it was not practical at all. So I decided to let it go. And then in its place, after coming to the realization that if I'm doing a straw tote, I better go big. I then bought the Coach structured straw tote, which I'm very happy with. In August, my Coach outlet Basquiat Cleo shoulder bag sold. This one again was me trying to get rid of the saddle bags in my collection because I was not, they were not working for me. This one was kind of sad because I bought it primarily because it was part of the Coach outlet Basquiat collection. I had missed out on the boutique Basquiat collection, and I really, really wanted something Basquiat. So this was an attempt to try to get something from that collection into my wardrobe, but again, because it was saddle style, I wasn't wearing it, so there was no point. What I really want is the Coach X Basquiat Beat 18 in ivory, the one with the mecha print. That is what I really want in my collection. Of course, that collection is no longer selling at the boutique. You can only find bags from the Coach X Basquiat collection on the second-hand market, but I have not seen this Beat 18 in Canada at a price that I'm willing to pay. So I decided there was no point holding on to the Cleo just because of that, and so I let it go in August. In October, I sold my Parker top handle and my Rogue 25 in the color Kelly Green. These two were very hard for me to let go, which is why you're seeing them at the end, towards the end of the year, because it took a while for me to finally make the decision to let them go. Very sad. I'm still sad. The Parker top handle was my very first Coach bag, but I bought it at the time, of course, because it was my very first. I just started collecting at that time. I didn't know what works for me and what doesn't. So it's a big size bag, and big size bags don't work for me unless it's a tote. It's not going to work for me. Love the bag. It was very beautiful. I love the fact that it was suede, it was grained leather, it was snake embossed leather. Very beautiful. With that top handle, I miss it now. As I'm talking about it, I miss that bag in that rich oxblood color. But yeah, I hadn't worn it in like over a year because I wear only small to medium size bags right now. So I decided it was time to let it go, and so it sold in October, and soon after my Rogue 25 in Kelly Green also sold. So you would have watched my previous videos on the Rogue and how the Rogue does not work for me as a style bag. I appreciate how it looks very beautiful, but I'm definitely not going to be buying any Rogue 25 or bigger size anytime soon. I am looking at the Rogue 20. I've tried that size in store and I'm willing to give that size a try, but anything above, from 25 above, not for me. So I sold my Kelly Green Rogue 25, even though I adore that color. And so I'm hoping that Coach does new styles in that Kelly green color so I can bring that color back into my collection. The Parker I sold on Poshmark, but the Rogue I sold through Instagram, which was really good. So yeah, sad about those two, but happy they are with people that will love them now. And in November, another bag that was really hard for me to let go was my Birch Kira Chevron shoulder bag. This was the older style Kira Chevron. There's a new version now that Tori has done. I love this cloud blue color, so beautiful, but again, chain shoulder bags just do not work for me. It is a beautiful style, beautiful bag, beautiful color, just not my thing. I was wearing it less and less. It was also beginning to show some corner wear, so I thought before it got worse sitting on my shelf getting that corner wear, I would let it go to someone else who probably love it better, use it better, and just appreciate the bag more. So that left last month in November. Sad, but yeah, sold that one on Poshmark as well. And in this month of December, as a matter of fact, just yesterday I got a notification on Poshmark that my Coach Keep had sold. I actually just listed that bag like a month ago and it sold. So yeah, my Coach Keep in the color natural. Again, this is one that is kind of bittersweet because I did love that bag when I bought it. I loved the color, I loved the size. It's a small size, and what have I been saying about small? Me loving small to medium size bag. This is a small size bag, crossbody bag, perfect for errands. As that is what I used to use it for. I used it as an errand bag. But I realized that in the last year or year and a half, I've used it less and less because I now have other bags that I prefer to use in its place that serve the same function. And so I thought, you know what? It's time for the Keep to go. I have used it. I have loved it. I'm going to pass it on to someone else. And so that bag just sold via Poshmark. Now, I haven't gone in depth about how I sell my bags on or off Poshmark, how much they sell for, and how much I made off the sale, but I already have a video on that. So if you're interested in all of those details, then watch this one next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in this one. Bye.